Okay, I have your NFL Week 13 power rankings. So number 10, I have the Tennessee Titans down one spot. They lost to the Bengals. Honestly, I think they did pretty well versus Bengals other than the end. Their offense, Derrick Henry got shut down. I think that was the only problem with their offense. The offensive line could be better, but Ryan Tannehill, these last couple of games, I think has looked really, really solid, and I think he can win a playoff game. But Derrick Henry, he got shut out, and that's probably why they lost. And Tannehill, to me, has been the biggest problem in the past, and I think he's been doing a lot better. And Derrick Henry, we all know how explosive he is. He just got shut down. And Tennessee Titans defense, they slowed down the Bengals offense, and I think their defense is great, and their offense is getting better. So I still have them in the top 10, despite losing. Then number 9, I have the Cincinnati Bengals back in this spot. The offense wasn't particularly great, but they didn't have Jamar Chase or Joe Mixon, and that made their um, the offense still got just enough to get it done. While their defense has been playing a lot better, they stopped Derrick Henry and slowed down Ryan Tannehill, and pass rush is great. Overall, their defense has been playing a lot better, like the playoffs last year, and their offense, even without Mixon and Chase, have been doing just enough to get them the wins. So I think they're a top 10 team, and they're 7-4. And then number 8, I have the Baltimore Ravens down 5 spots. They just lost to the Jaguars. Their team, Lamar Jackson's kind of in a slump, but he's doing all right. But their team in the fourth quarter just cannot score, and they have to get better at finishing off drives. Their defense definitely choked. Um, they weren't great against the Jacksonville, and Jacksonville doesn't have a great offense. But overall, the Ravens' defense has been pretty good this year, just not great the last week. And their offense these last couple of games have not been great. Jacksonville does not have a very good defense. They should have done better, but um, the Ravens, I still think they're a top 10 team. Their offense can be explosive at times, like the beginning of the season, but they just have to get back in the rhythm, and their defense this season has just been good overall, just not last week. And number 7, I still have the Minnesota Vikings at the same spot. Against the Patriots, they won, but their defense has to get better. They allowed, 26 points to not a great um, Patriots offense, so their defense has to get better. Their offense is still very explosive against a very good Patriots defense. They did very, very good. So I think their offense is definitely top 5, but their defense is probably bottom 10. So they have to get their defense figured out if they want a deep postseason run. But I think their offense can definitely secure them a divisional, a playoff win. But it's their defense that's keeping them from getting in the top 10. And number 6, I have the San Francisco 49ers up 2 spots. Against the Saints, they had a shutout, and the 49ers, they have a lots and lots of talent. Christian McCaffrey, Debo, George Kittle, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, probably missing one or two. And Eli just got injured, so that sucks. But to me, 49ers, they're probably not as high as some other power rankings, mainly because they've been too inconsistent. They've had one game where they put it all together, and it was against a not a great Cardinals team. Their defense at times can be great and shut out opponents like they did against the Saints, or they can be bad and just not do great. And their offense, though, is even more inconsistent. Did not play good against the Saints. Their offense was very lackluster against the Saints, but they did. But they're hot and cold. They're a hot and cold team, which is preventing me from putting them in the top 5. Their offense is way too inconsistent right now, even with Christian McCaffrey. And number 5, I have the Miami Dolphins up 1 spot. They played. It was just a good game versus the Texans at a 30-0 lead, and then they pulled out their starters or some of their starters, and their defense has been playing a lot better. Though was against the Texans, but overall they have played better. Their offense still very, very explosive. Tua looked good. Not as good as his previous week, but still looked good. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle had a good game, and the offensive line with Armstead out is definitely concerning right now, especially the difference the line looked when he came out. So that's got to be concerning when they play the 49ers. This is preventing me from. But they're still a top 5 team, especially with their offense. And number 4, I have the Buffalo Bills also up 1 spot. Um, a good, not great game from Buffalo. The offense should have done better against like the worst defense in the Lions, but they didn't enough to win. Josh Allen, he did he didn't do great, but in the final drive he got them into field goal range, so that's always a plus. Their defense is also didn't actually play that well, and they played well, but have a ton of injuries. Von Miller went out, a bunch of their linebackers, secondary. So Bills defense is injured, but they just keep on winning. But that might hurt them later on. And number 3, I have the Dallas Cowboys up 1 spot. Um, They beat the Giants, right now I think they're the most balanced team. Their defense this season has just been playing lights out, pretty much shut out the Giants in the second half, other than a garbage time touchdown. Their offense, Dak Prescott's still throwing too many picks, but offense has been doing enough and has been getting better as the weeks go on, and they're a dangerous team right now. And then at number two, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, a great game versus the Packers. Their run game just dominated well. Jalen Hurts had a great game. Their offense is looking great right now, but their defense did not do great. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers um, had a couple of touchdown passes. Their defense has to get better. They were great early on, but their defense has fallen off these last couple of weeks, especially their run defense. So they have to get better at that. But their offense right now is really doing great, and their defense, even though it hasn't been doing great, it's not terrible. And the teams that drop out, I have the Giants. Against the Cowboys, Saquon got shut out again, and Daniel Jones couldn't win them the game, and that's really concerning. Without a quarterback, you can't go far in the playoffs, and Saquon has been shut out back-to-back years. But their defense played great, but without a good quarterback, I don't think they can be in the top 10. And number one, I still have the Kansas City Chiefs. Beat the Rams. It was a blow up. Not the best offensive game, but the Kansas City Chiefs defense has been playing like a lot better these last couple of weeks. And their defense this season has been better than previous season, and their offense, even with losing Tyreek Hill, has just been as explosive. So I still have them at number one. So there you have it, my NFL Week 13 power rankings.